understanding the journey, right? So let's talk about the buyer's journey and the seller's journey. And we hear this all the time. And I want to put this up in a display format for you, right? So normally when we're taught how to sell, this is what we have, this is what we're taught to do. We got to find someone, and then we want to generate some interest. And then we need to learn about them, right? Through some level of qualification. Then we go into deeper discovery mode, which is that needs analysis. Let's really see what this means. Right. Then you go into presentation or demo mode, which I often see. Then you go into some level of trial close, and then hopefully the money comes through. Obviously, the circle gets smaller because these deals don't always close as quickly as we would like. This is how we're taught to sell. In fact, it feels like a retail environment, right? I used to work for the Gap, right? The first sales process I learned was called Gap Act: greet, approach, product knowledge, add-on, close, and thank you. So if you ever go shopping at the Gap and you see this happen, that's what they're teaching people. So that's how this works. Now let's talk about how people buy. And here's the first thing you got to know is that most buyers are liars, right? And I say that jokingly, tongue in cheek, but if you walk into the department store and a sales rep comes up to you and says, "How can I help you?" We don't even respond with something grammatically correct. We just say, "No thanks, just looking," right? When in fact, you're in the department store for some reason. You got to be looking for something. But again, this is how we're conditioned to buy. Then we might start to fake some level of interest, right? And this happens in sales all the time, right? We see it all the time. They start asking a couple of questions. Can your product do this? Can it do that? Well, what if I want to do this? Or what if I want to do that? And we get happy ears. We think because they're just asking us questions and they're engaging with us that they want to buy, right? I can assure you that just because someone talks to you at the bar doesn't necessarily mean that they want to go out on a date with you, right? So that's what we see in the buyer's journey. Then they start to gather information. They ask more questions. They want brochures and pamphlets and PDFs and send me an email and all this kind of stuff, right? Just keep sending them stuff. That's what they want. Then what ends up happening is we end up doing a lot of pro bono work. We start giving them free advice. We start giving them free consulting. We don't charge them for this. We think it's great. They want a free proof of concept. They want a free, they want to extend their free trial from 15 days to 30 days. 30 days isn't a long enough free trial. They expect 6 months, whatever it is. And we just do this because we're afraid to say no. Then they start to promise things, right? Oh yes, if we do this, I promise, I promise, I promise. And then here's what happens. They run away. They never ever call us back. They never ever respond to our emails, and we are heartbroken, right? So this is traditionally how people buy. Now, I want to compare these two pieces, right? I want you to look at this next piece, this next slide. You're going to see in the seller's journey, you got to find someone. Then the buyer's journey, their job is to lie to you, right? The next step is for you to generate some interest. They're going to fake some interest. Then you want to learn about them, and they're going to start getting free information. You can see that none of this stuff aligns as you follow down the path, right? So what we want to do is we want to start way back in the beginning. We want to really improve our approach to make sure that we can earn the right to ask questions, that we can make sure that we find a great way to say, hey, look, I know your time's valuable. I don't want to waste it. But respectfully, my time is valuable too. I don't want to waste it either. So please don't waste my time. That's what we're going to talk about next.